Yeah, so you done well, are you? All right, everybody. Well, good afternoon. Welcome to UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse, our second group of coaches press conferences here in advance of the joint championship and the Women's Elite Eight coming up tomorrow on Tuesday. We're joined by head coaches Mike Williams of Grand Valley State, Mike Mincey of Carson-Newman, Alan Sharpe of Alabama Huntsville, and Danelle Bishop from Cal Poly Coloma. First things first, go Danelle.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
It's okay.
First things first, congratulations on advancing the Elite Eight. Welcome to Pittsburgh. We're excited to have you here. And I'm going to throw just a general, get the ball rolling question out at you. And then after that, we'll open it up to the field for questions. So in whatever order you like to take this, coaches, tell us about, maybe not the journey to the Elite Eight, but the satisfaction, the reflection you've had so far in achieving this goal and being just 3 games away from a championship. Let's take first.
You're the defending national champ.
Sorry.
Repeat that question.
You would maybe already. Yeah. Maybe not necessarily, the whole journey of getting to Pittsburgh, Coach Williams, but the satisfaction, the reflection you've had on the journey so far, now being 3 games away from a championship.
Yeah, I think from our standpoint this year, we had lost a really good group of seniors. We had 6 seniors that graduated, a good group. And we knew we had a good returning group. And so I think for me, it was watching this new group of seniors. We have 5 seniors. And then after that, really, we had 1 sophomore that played a lot. It was all new players. And so just watching them develop as leaders and bring this younger group along. We had some players that were off red shirts, off injuries, and then some true freshmen. And just the job they did, and not to get caught up on what they had to do with, they kind of talked about being their own team and didn't worry about what happened last year, and they were a big part of it. But just to see them develop their own path and become their own team was really cool to watch this year.
I mean, what he said, like we lost 4 starters from last year on a team that lost in the semifinals of the regional to Coker, who eventually advanced to the Elite Eight. We lost the number 1 field goal percentage shooter in the country in Lindsay Taylor, which I would love to have her right now going up against Grand Valley at 6'2". But, we didn't really hit the portal. We don't really play the portal all that much. There's a lot of kids were on the bench waiting their time to have bigger roles, and that's kind of what we got out of them. And, our expectations this year were certainly not to probably be at the Elite Eight. We've had to take a path of some failures throughout the year to play our best basketball in the postseason, and now here we find ourselves at the Elite Eight.
I took over the job last year and had no idea what to expect. Just tried to fill a roster, and we ended up being pretty good. Won 25 games, finished second, but we never really got over the hump and beat a union or a league in our league last year. And then it kind of clicked for whatever reason this year. We ended up winning some of those games. And then, when you win games, you start to get some belief in what you're doing and some buy-in from the group. And it's been really fun to watch a team, like a real team. We have 1 really good player, but other than that, they're all just solid role players. And you get a lot of satisfaction out of seeing a team really, in some sense, overachieve for what we've done with some of the personnel that we have. But they have bought into their roles, and there's no jealousy and no selfishness in the locker room. So it's been a joy to be with them every day, and we'll try to play as long as we can.
I agree in a lot of those ways. I think we probably have exceeded expectations this year with the group we have. We've had, just like everybody, I'm sure, some injuries, key injuries. So being able to kind of overcome those and to be where we're at right now, we're really happy about that. It's a great group of young women right now. I know you're saying 3 games. We're just focused on these guys right here. It's going to be a big game. And I think the biggest satisfaction for me is, I've been here for a while at Cal Poly, and we talk a lot, and I try to share stories about being here and this experience. And now they're getting to experience. They've heard my stories, and now they get to actually experience. And so that's just a pure joy as a coach to be able to see them come here and feel really special. NCAA committees, I know they put in a lot of hard work. And so to be able to see them here and excited for the opportunity is really special.
Let's open up a question. Well, Coach Sharpe, you mentioned about Lily kind of carrying the load for you this year in particular, but the other players that have stepped up for you this year, who's grown the most, you think, this year for you, Coach?
There was the game a couple months ago when the freshman McSwain tore ACL, and she was good and going to be good, and we were kind of searching, didn't know what to do and how we were going to be able to handle it without her. And then Ivy Maddox has really picked it up as of late. She's kind of turned into not a little high school player anymore. She's kind of grown into like a real college basketball player, and she's really played well for us in the absence of McSwain here down the stretch.
Coach Bishop, I'd love to get a thought or two on scouting out UAH. What you think of them?
They're good. Everybody here is good at this point. They're tough. They can shoot the ball with a high efficiency. They've got a lot of high IQ players. It's going to be a real tough game for us. And, we're excited to play somebody different out of the region, and that's kind of nice. But they're a really good team and well coached and good leadership. And Lily, you could see that just by all the games I've been watching. So,
Mincey, what have you learned from the visit to the Elite Eight in 2018 that you've applied to this year's trip?
I don't know if I've necessarily learned anything. I think the first year we came in 18, the moment seemed pretty big kind of for all of us. Of course, I'm the only one still around from that particular year, but trying to tell them, even though it's the Elite Eight, it's still a basketball game, still a 94-foot court. The biggest thing is, because we're the 8 seed, we get the joy of playing the defending national champs in Grand Valley. And, I'm trying to find a weakness in all the film I've watched. I really can't find one. And I still got another night to go, I guess, to try to find one. But
I can help you out on that if you need some family.
We'll just talk after.
Weaknesses.
Yeah, they'll be the best team, obviously, we've faced all year. And, they have all the pieces, same as they did last year, to certainly repeat. And I know there's a lot of other teams here that are going to try to take them down. But, just trying not to make the moment too big, to be honest with you.
Coach Sharpe, how do you do that for you guys? First time here, how do you not get that?
I'm probably the worst at it with not appreciating, sometimes stopping and smelling the roses, so to speak, of where you are and what you're doing. We just try to, I'm a little ticked off at how we started practice today, if that tells you anything what we're thinking. From time to time, we've brought it up about where we are and what we've done, but we don't dwell on it too long. We're just trying to, we got practice done, and let's have a good film session tonight and get ready for tomorrow.
Coach, and then just for everybody, every year there's that one moment that kind of flips the switch, changes things. What was that moment this year that maybe was the turning point, whether it was end of the year, middle of the year, conference tournament, that you knew we've got something really good going on. We can make it Pittsburgh. Coach Wynn, we'll start with you.
Yeah. We do a good job, been able to do a good job of loading up our preseason scrimmages. We had a chance to scrimmage 2 pretty good mid-majors, and some good NEIs, and then to get ready for it. And we knew that after that, we thought, whoa, we got a pretty good group again. And then our first game had a chance to go play one of those kickoff tournaments. We get to go play out of the region, and we play West Texas, who was really good. We just kind of beat Arizona I believe, and put Baylor in a tussle, and we ended up beating them down in Missouri. And I did, and I thought, at St. Joe's, I thought, that this team's maybe got a chance to be pretty good after that. Kind of those going through that gauntlet early in the year.
For us, preseason was up and down. We did beat a D1 team in a scrimmage and then lost to a JUCO, and it was up and down. And second game of the year, we shot the lowest field goal percentage we've shot in a decade. So started out 2-2, and it was a real struggle. And then we found our groove midway through, and then we went on a 4-game skid. And through all of the failures, we kept trying to fix some things and adjust. And it was probably second half of our quarterfinal game. We changed who we came out and started with in the second half. And from that point on, we've kind of been rolling pretty well and playing probably the best defense that we've played in my tenure in quite some time. And that's probably why we went through the regional and beat 3 ranked teams and sitting here ready to play.
Well, I'm going to top you. We started 1-3 to start the season, and we weren't sure which way was up, but we figured it out. We ran off 18 in a row, and then I think when we beat Union twice, which had never been done at UAH ever, I think we started to believe that we had a chance to be pretty good. And then on the flip side of it, we lost to Union in the Gulf South Conference championship game, which may have been the best thing for us to lose a game that late in the year and still have opportunity to keep playing. And so I think that was good for us and gave us a little bit of edge going down the stretch, going into the regional tournament.
For us, it took a little bit of time. We played most of our preseason. One of our injured players was in the game. Then they'd sit out the next, some of our top players. So unfortunately, we had a key injury right before Christmas. And after that, I think once the players were able to kind of see what their roles were and really play into their roles, we've got a lot of role players. We've got a lot of people that can do a lot of things as opposed to maybe just one person. And so being able to see them do that, I think was a really big key for us and kind of that defining moment for us. It wasn't just a one game deal. It was over time. And I think too, the belief in each other. And I also think getting this far, you have to have a bench and you have to have contributors off your bench. And so I really believe that that's something that we've done well over the course of time. That's really helped us be where we're at.
Coaches, in particular, the challenge system, how is that adjusted to your daily routine, and how do you think it's gone overall at Coach Williams?
A challenge system.
The challenge system. Challenging calls for the officials.
Review. Gotcha. Well, we don't challenge many because we're looking at a foggy iPad. So, and the officials kind of tell you before, at least they've been good enough to tell us, man, it better be clear as day or we can't tell. And so I think it's a good thing, and I think it's still in the works. And I think once we figure out, the system of getting some different angles and getting, some monitors where you can actually see like they do in the upper levels, I think it's going to be a good thing. But right now, I don't think we challenged one call all year, and we got it. We made it. So maybe kudos to Parkside. Maybe their video was better than most. So
we're 2-1 on the year. We did 3 challenges, I think, and not everybody has the ability to have monitors courtside. We're fortunate enough with our SID department at Carson-Newman to have that, but didn't really have to use it a whole lot. But it's nice, when it is there that you and we're relying on our players. I know at the higher levels they're relying on the 18 people behind them with iPads to tell them. And I'm asking the players, did you or did you not? Who's it out on? And again, we only used it 3 times, and I think we won 2 of them.
We haven't all year. I saw the angles in our gym. I said, we're not going to challenge any. And I love it when the opponent comes in there and challenges one. I'm like, you're not going to get it, but you're not going to get it overturned. So we haven't done any.
Same. Most of the time we just have one camera. And if we have 2, they're usually, some college student facing the opposite end where the play's happening. So we've chosen not to.
You're going to get all the replay company. Going to be sending you all email. I think you would sport and everybody's the duration. Coaches, in the last press conference, one of the things that the coaches talked about was resilience in culture, and how at this time of year, it's almost just sort of a last team standing, maybe health-wise, what have you. Starting with Coach Bishop, where have you seen that resilience, that toughness in your team this season?
I mean, we've seen it all season, and I'm sure like most teams in various ways. Adversity is, key to growing, I think, almost any good team, and being able to overcome your adversity, whatever it might be, whether it be injuries, maybe it's some things off the court that, these young women are going through right now. And I think how you respond to it is the biggest challenge for them, especially in their age. And so for us, we've had adversity all season between injuries and whatnot. And, we've kind of had that the last couple years. But this year we kind of have a little bit more of a veteran group. Only have one senior that's traveled with us this trip. And, I think they love each other. The culture is great. It's been refreshing and a lot of fun for me as a coach this year. I don't have to worry about them. All the standards that we have set, they hold each other accountable. So being disciplined and the accountability as part of our culture has just been huge, and it's become theirs. It's not coach led, it's player led. And I think when you have player led culture, a lot of things can happen. So it's been a lot of fun and it's been exciting. And, our focus is just one game, 40 minutes. And what can we do in there?
Well, we all face adversity, and coaches love to get in front of the camera and talk about how much adversity they faced throughout the season, acting like other people don't face it as well, like we all do to different extents. So it's just part of it. But our team has kind of found a way to grind out some wins, especially in the regional, with Edward Waters and Good Gracious and Nova and even Eckerd for that matter. But just kind of found a way to get through it. And it's kind of like, when you win it, winning's contagious, and winning becomes a habit. You kind of look for ways to win games even when it's tight, and vice the other way. Losing can become a habit also. You start looking for ways to lose those games if you expect to lose. So they kind of figured it out and looked for ways to win, and just have whatever the it is. Nobody ever can describe it, but the group has the toughness to try to fight through it and grind out a tough win.
I would say all 8 teams here have great cultures. I think without a great culture, as Coach said, without being player-led, you're probably not going to make it this far, and you could almost guarantee that all 8 teams are that way. But to quote Patino, because we've had to use this quote this year, failure is fertilizer for success. And, we have 10 losses. I think we have the most losses of any team here. But through those losses and through the adversity and the team staying together, through the culture that we have, we've been able to make adjustments and change things, change how we play, change our rotation, starting lineup. That was good enough in the Southeast region to certainly get us here. And so we're obviously happy to be here. And we have a lot of local players that know each other, and they're all friends with each other. And I think that bond has helped us to fight through some of the adversity and the struggles that we've had to find success.
Yeah, so we haven't really had a ton. It's like we kind of dodge injuries, and I think the big thing was when we started the year. What was our leadership going to be and what was it going to be like after last year? When you do win it all, there's going to be that pressure, and there wasn't any. And I think those 5 seniors kind of took care of that right from the start. It was like they just were our own team, and they really did such a good job. That we just didn't face a ton, this year as far as dealing with anything. Usually it's injuries, and Steve Gomez talked about last year about timing, and the time this year we didn't have. We kind of went through without injuries, and for the most part, and